when we talk about protest, what we're really talking about are people using extra parliamentary means to influence governments, to influence business. Right? That means taking their bodies and putting them in public space. That debate over who gets to control and use that space has always been an important part of protests, of defining it. And I can go back to 1912 when left-wing groups such as the Socialist Party of Canada and the Industrial Workers of the World would speak on street corners, especially down in what's now Oppenheimer Park. They would address people, they would try to organize people, sign them up into the movement, sell the newspapers. And in that year of 1912, Vancouver City declared that they could no longer hold these open air rallies. And the response was an absolute fight for that space, led by the Industrial Workers of the World, who sent out a call across North America for any of their members to come to Vancouver, to get on a soapbox, to make a speech precisely to get arrested. So they would fill the jails. They would fill that space with their bodies as well, force the municipality to house them and to feed them, and put that kind of economic pressure on the government. And after a few weeks, the city finally said, right, you win. You can have the right to speak on street corners again in Vancouver. So that's a very vivid and I think important example of occupying space in contrast to what cities and governments and businesses insisted upon. One of the odd things that's happening these days, of course, is that protests get special permissions. They can occupy this space, but not that space. That the police will give you a free speech zone, far away perhaps from the people you're trying to influence. So I think protests need to think about that very carefully as we move ahead, because I think we have seen public space shrink in the last 40 and 50 years. The use of free speech zones, for example, and the various kettling techniques that police use to stop demonstrations shows us that, in fact, we've lost a lot of ground in terms of what people are prepared to claim as public space, as the commons, as the space for the people. So I think that it's fair to say we have seen a real erosion of democratic space, and protests that become formulaic, right, have lost some of their impact. And that's why it's so crucial that people think about creative ways to reclaim that space and to broaden that space. Protests are uncomfortable. That's part of the point. It's about awakening people and about trying to show that people are thinking of new ideas. They're offering new challenges, and that's the only way that we move forward if we are serious about democracy and rule by the people.